archicerebellum, the oldest, it related to the vestibular nucleus, vestibular pathway, vestibular nucleus or vestibular pathway. Hence, it maintains equilibrium. It maintains equilibrium. Neocerebellar fine movements because related to corticocerebellar. Paleocerebellar, spinocerebellar, spinal cord to the cerebellum, maintains the tone, posture, crude movements. Archicerebellum related to vestibular pathway. It maintains equilibrium. Three lobes, three functions. Structurally, three lobes. Phylogenetically, three lobes. Phylogenetically, three lobes. Functionally, three lobes. One lobes maintain equilibrium. Other lobes maintain the tone, posture, isn't it? And one more maintains the fine movements. Anatomically, three lobes. Developmental, evolutionary, three lobes. Functionally, three lobes. It is regarding the cerebellum. Now we'll go to the functions of the cerebellum. Function, here you have to note the point. This point has to be noted. The cerebellum acts as a ipsilateral. It is very much important to the physician, to the surgeon, to the neurophysician. Cerebellum acts as a ipsilateral. Means the fibers goes on the same side. Fibers ascend and descend on the same side. It is ipsilateral. Neurophysician, neurosurgeon, clinician must know this. It acts ipsilaterally. The fibers of the cerebellum, the relations of the cerebellum, the tract of the cerebellum act only ipsilaterally, where others act as a contralaterally. Others act contralaterally, whereas the cerebellum act as a ipsilaterally. The ascending fibers, the descending fibers act ipsilaterally. This you have to note this point. It is very much important clinically, surgically. A clinician must know, a surgeon must know, a neurosurgeon must know, a neurophysician must know these functions of the cerebellum. They go ipsilaterally, means on the same side. This point has to be noted. Now, I told you the balance neocerebellum help in the balance smooth movements, isn't it? If there is a neocerebellum is not working, if the neocerebellum, the fine movements are not going, it leads to ataxia. If the neocerebellum is not functioning properly, ataxia. Ataxia means the gait becomes alcoholic gait. Ataxia and intentional tumors means when we can ask the patient to bring the finger to the nose, he will not do intentional tumors. He can't bring it. That is called intentional tumor. Intentional tumors. When the neocerebellum is not functioning, that causes ataxia. Ataxia means the person walks like an alcoholic gait. Intentional tumor means ask the patient to bring the nose to the finger. Isn't it? Finger to the nose, Finger to the nose, he will not bring at once. He will fail. He will be finding the nose. That is the intentional tumors. Intentional tumors. Isn't it? When the paleocerebellum, the tone I told. Paleocerebellum, tone. Maintain the tone, paleocerebellum. Paleocerebellum, that is the tone. We'll tell the tone. If it is not working, there is a hypotonia. It becomes hypotonia. It becomes hypotonia. These are when the archicerebellum equilibrium will not be there. When the archicerebellum is not functioning, the equilibrium is lost and person becomes ataxic gait. His gait become ataxic. Ataxic gait with a wide base. Ataxic gait. Now before going to the applied, we'll see the what are the superior cerebral peduncle. Diagrammatic, I will show the diagrams here. I will show here the chart. See here. It is the middle lobe related to superior cerebral peduncle. Superior cerebral peduncle, in front are there cerebellorubral. Cerebellorubral means red nucleus. Crossed. Dentatothalamic, thalamus. Dentato-olivary, olivary means medulla oblongata. Fastigio-reticular, reticular fibers in the pons is the midbrain. The reticular fibers uncrossed here. Now middle cerebral peduncle, that is the corticopontocerebellar. Corticopontocerebellar. Now inferior cerebral peduncle has the definite pathway. Posterior spinocerebellar, cuneo-cerebellar, olivocerebellar, olivo means middle oblongate, para-olivocerebellar, reticulocerebellar, vestibulocerebellar, and indefinite are the anterior external arcuate fibers, stria medullaris and trigeminal cerebellar. Posterior spinocerebellar, cuneo-cerebellar, oliocerebellar, para-oliocerebellar, reticulocerebellar, vestibulocerebellar. Indefinite are the anterior externate arcuate fibers, stria medullaris and trigeminocerebellar, and the efferent are the cerebellovestibular, cerebello-olivary, cerebello-reticular. These are the superior cerebral peduncle related to midbrain, middle cerebral peduncle related to pons, inferior related to medulla oblongata. Well, now I will tell you the applied anatomy. Last but not least, reticular formation means they are the what is reticular formation? Reticular formation is the insignificant nuclei. Insignificant nuclei present on the brain stem. Insignificant nuclei present in the brain stem, which maintain the awakeness, isn't it? They are more important physiologically. Reticular formation more important physiologically than anatomically. They are insignificant nuclei, which maintains the awareness, isn't it? That what circadian rhythm, many things are there you learn in physiology. Reticular formation are the insignificant nuclei anatomically. Insignificant nuclei present in the brainstem. Yeah. Brainstem means midbrain, pons, medulla. Midbrain, pons, medulla. Three things. Insignificant nuclei, anatomically insignificant, physiologically very much important. Now we'll go to the applied importance. That is the, isn't if there is a cerebral syndrome, cerebellar region, if there is any tumor in the cerebellum, it leads to ataxia. Ataxia means alcoholic gait. Then it leads to tremors, intentional tremors. Now the cerebral syndrome, which is characterized by nystagmus, Nystagmus These are the oscillatory movements of the eyeball. Which is uncontrolled. Oscillatory movements of the eyeball. Then the muscular hypotonia. muscular hypotonia, the tonicity of the muscle is lost. Muscle tone is lost. Hypotonia. Now there is a adidokinesia. Adidokinesia means the patient ask the patient to do. Adidokinesia means ask the patient to do supination, pronation properly, continuously. He will not do it because the muscular coordination is lost. Adidokinesia means that ask the patient to do the supination, pronation continuously, but he will not do in a proper way. He will, because there is no muscular coordination is lost. It is called adidokinesia. Means patient ask the patient to do supination, pronation. He will not do continuously. He will fail to do it. That condition called as adidokinesia. This is regarding the cerebellum. Cerebellum. We have seen the parts of the cerebellum: anterior lobe, middle lobe, folliculonodular lobe. We have seen the gray matter, forenucleus, dentate nucleus, nucleus of globusus, emboliform nucleus, Festigi nucleus. Gray matter we have seen. We have seen the three peduncles. See again three peduncles. Superior cerebral peduncle from the midbrain, middle cerebral peduncle from the pons, inferior cerebral peduncle from the midbrain. Isn't it? The three peduncles related to the cerebellum. And there is a three lobes. Structurally three lobes. Archaeologically three lobes. Archaeocerebellum, paleo-cerebellum, neo-cerebellum. Isn't it? Functionally three lobes. One lobe meant for the equilibrium, one for the tone. Isn't it? Tone is posture. One for the nice movements. It is regarding the cerebellum. Cerebellum is very much important to the clinicians, to the physicians, to the neurosurgeons and neurophysicians. If you have got any doubt, please do call me. Be in the house, be safe. Any doubts are there, please call me. All the best. Take care. Bye.